Hi, Karen, I do canals.
Simon, I do canals. We do canals.
We do canals.
We like canals. Where are we?
We're Wales.
We like Wales. We like Wales a lot.
We do.
Why do you like Wales a lot?
I like Wales. It reminds me of my nanny and granddad.
Ken and Rose, salt of the earth people, loved them both. Fantastic. I like Wales. I just like the countryside.
Beautiful.
But I also like this. What's this? Have a go.
I apologise now, Welsh people, if I pronounced it wrong. Pontcysyllte Aqueduct.
Missed out a syllable. It's Pontcysyllte Aqueduct.
Okay.
But fair play, you gave that a good shot. It's not the easiest thing to do. The Welsh language is a tricky one if you're not Welsh.
They roll their
We're not Welsh.
L's, don't they?
They do a lot of rolling. They roll all sorts of things. But, so Pontcysyllte Aqueduct. Pontcysyllte Aqueduct. See, I got it wrong. It's easy to get wrong. Pontcysyllte Aqueduct means the bridge to Sicillte, or the Sicillte Bridge. Who built it?
Thomas Telford.
Thomas Telford built it. He began designing it in 1795 and they finished it in 1805. So how high is it?
Don't know, but it's very high.
We've been over it in a boat. It's 127 foot from the top of the aqueduct to the bottom, to the river bed. And what about, how long is it?
It's really long, but I'd say 4 to 5 minutes to walk across.
4 to 5 minute walk, that's about right. 1,005 feet. You've got a nice wide towpath, good high railing, about 7.5, 8 foot of canal, really narrow wall, cast iron wall, and then woo, all the way down. We went over in a boat, didn't we?
We did.
Here it is.
We'll go left, and then we'll see if we get more up somewhere.
But I think I was very brave.
Well done. You take some photos. Good for you.
Who was in charge of building the canal?
William Jessup.
William Jessup. He was appointed by the Ellesmere Canal Company. So this was called the Ellesmere Canal, but it's a Llangollen Canal, isn't it? Say Llangollen for me.
Llangollen.
Oh, that wasn't bad. That was really close. That was nearly close. You've been saying Llangollen for a while. That was your bestest yet.
It sure was.
By the time we've finished here, you'll be speaking like a proper Welsh person.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a tall order, that one is.
No.
So, William Jessup appointed Thomas Telford to design the aqueducts, both this one and the Chirk Aqueduct, the tunnels, there's the White House tunnels, there's the Chirk Tunnel, and he also designed the amazing Horseshoe Falls as well, which was the water feed.
That is so beautiful there.
Absolutely stunning. Take a look at this. So just behind me here is an information board that says you don't often find the start of a canal. Well, actually, usually fairly easy to find the starts of canals. And technically, this isn't a canal. This is the water feed that was designed and implemented by Thomas Telford to feed up to 12 million gallons of water every day to the Llangollen Canal and then on into Cheshire for domestic water supply. Back in the day, these two slots here would accommodate wooden planks that would help you to control the water. A little later on, a good old-fashioned windlass-operated sluice gate was added, and then in 1947, this was built, the control box or control building. And back then it was mechanical, and people would have to maintain it and come and press buttons and open and close things. Today, it's computer controlled, and it delivers exactly what Thomas Telford wanted to deliver, and that was constant water feed to the Llangollen Canal from here all the way to Cheshire. Outstanding. There's nothing better than this to collect so much water and deliver it so far and in such plentiful supply. Fantastic. So we like Horseshoe Falls, don't we? And we'd go there. It's a steep old climb getting out there, isn't it?
It's a good old climb.
With your gammy leg.
Yeah, climb down is okay. It's climbing up. But you know what? If you take your time, a few stops on the way.
It's awesome. So what we're going to do, we're going to get some really good close-ups of this. We're going to go to the other side because there's a funky little bridge. It's called the Gatehouse Bridge. I think it's called the Gate Bridge. We're going to go and have a look at that. It's really old. We're going to zip the drone up from there. We're going to stand and have another good look. Then we're going to go to the other side, to the Pontcysyllte side. We're going to have a bit of a walk. Quarter of an hour. 10 minutes. We'll do it in 10. I'll piggyback, it'll be fine. And then we're going to have a look at the other side. Because we can't walk across it at the moment, can we?
No, we can't.
The towpath is shut for annual maintenance, and it's shut for about a month. But no fears. We've been over it before. We've got some other video of our going over it, and I've walked over it. You won't. Karen, when we went over in a boat, was cowering inside the boat, sticking the camera out now and again.
If I've got to do all that walking today, we're going to the pub afterwards, and then I'll go home and cook your dinner.
Oh, we found a lovely pub, haven't we?
Yeah.
In Rule. It's called the Sun Inn.
Oh, I
it's
thought
dinky
it was Fuel.
and tiny.
Fuel.
Rule. R-H-E-W-L. If you're in this neck of the woods, worth going.
I thought Fuel.
No. Oh, look.
I don't think I
Stick with English, babe. Stick with English.
I think I'll stick with the English.
Right, so we're not going to get anything done here. You've got to get the Sherpas to carry all the stuff back up there and maybe put you on a stretcher.
You're piggybacking me up there.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. No chance. Come on.
Design to build of the Pont-ker-sulth-tay Aqueduct was 10 years. Thomas Telford discarded previous designs that incorporated locks down and back up at the other end, which would have meant a shorter aqueduct and not so high, but much more time consuming to cross. At the time it cost £47,000. Adjusted to today's money, that's in the order of 4.1 million. The downstream view looking back at the aqueduct is one of the most impressive you can find. You cannot miss the striking features of the 4 central stone piers with their enormous double buttressed feet. These were constructed to divert the very often strong River Dee's current around them for centuries. The 18 stone piers are constructed using high quartz content sandstone from Cefn Mawr. Each tapering pier is 20 feet by 12 feet at the base and narrowing to 13 feet by 7 foot 6 inches at the top. The stone piers are hollow above 70 feet to reduce the amount of stone used and the weight on the bottom of the piers, but also this ensured the centre of gravity was much lower down. This not only reduced the weight, but also allowed for inspection on the inside of the stone piers. All the piers are secured to the trough with large metal lugs that sit under the last 7 layers of stone at the top. There are 18 masonry piers in all, supporting the 19 cast iron spans. At 1,007 feet long, the canal is carried in a cast iron trough supported 127 feet above the river bed on 19 iron spans bolted together using 1.5-inch diameter bolts. The trough, constructed of 19 sections, is 5 feet 5 inches deep and 11 feet 10 inches wide. 4 feet of the trough is covered by the towpath. This covered section of trough allows for water displacement as a boat traverses the aqueduct. Had the trough been 9 feet wide as originally intended, the crossing would have been a much more nerve-wracking affair than it is today. And also, water would have sloshed over the side when a boat went through. Running the length of the trough, base plates joined together to form the bottom section. Each base plate is 4 feet 9 inches long. The joints were sealed with Welsh flannel and white lead. Arched ribs carried on 18 hollow masonry piers. Each of the 18 spans is 53 feet wide. On the 26th of November 1805, an impressive opening celebration with crowds of spectators numbering at least 8,000 gathered around and in the land below the aqueduct to cheer and applaud this great achievement. The crowd included a triumphant army of workers, a procession of boats bedecked with flags and filled with the designers, the financiers, the ironwork owners, and a brass band that struck up God Save the King and Rule Britannia, the sound of a 16-round salute from a pair of brass field cannon captured from the Indian prince Tipu Sahib at the siege of Seringapatam. The procession made its way across the aqueduct to light refreshments waiting for them in Trefor. The return journey included 2 cargo-laden narrowboats, also bedecked out in flags and banners. After completion, the aqueduct was left for 6 months with water inside to check that it was watertight. And even today it remains so, with only a tiny little bit of leakage, this at the Pont-ker-sulth-tay end.
So the aqueduct over here in the distance, the crossing point was higher than the immediate ground around. So William Jessup, Thomas Telford had to build an embankment, and a 1,500 foot embankment in length, not height, was built all the way around here, and you can see following the tree line over here. It's a little difficult to make out because the trees are quite overgrown and matured over there, but when they built that, of course, there was no trees on this whatsoever. And then it comes around the basin here, and we're in the Pont-ker-sulth-tay, which is the southern side of the aqueduct, the village up here behind us, and then the aqueduct embankment ran that away. Overall, an absolute colossal feat of engineering, 1,700 feet of aqueduct and 1,500 feet of embankment. Also that narrowboats could cross the River Dee. Love it. So this is Pont-ker-sulth-tay Basin, and from 1802 until the aqueduct opened in 1805, this was the terminus of the Ellesmere Canal. One can only imagine that there were perhaps wharf buildings and other structures to facilitate the very hard-working boat crews and their boats and offloading and onloading of cargo. I suspect that these 3 little cottages over here weren't there. These look old enough that they might have been. I'd like to have seen what it was. Haven't found any old photographs of it. We'll do a bit more digging, you never know. Behind the camera is Lift Bridge 28W. I think the W stands for Wales. There's another little bridge behind it that says 28AW, so obviously it was added much later. The lift bridge was put in 1990 and was built in Northwich. I don't know if it replaced an older bridge that had maybe deteriorated during the decline and the resurrection of the canals. At least the Ellesmere Canal, which of course is now the Llangollen Canal, never ceased. It never stopped working. And that's because of the water feed from Horseshoe Falls to Cheshire. It was kept going for that single purpose only. And now it's one of the most stunning and most beautiful canals and most visited canals for holidays and recreation. And it's really easy to see why. We took a boat trip up here on our 30th wedding anniversary in 1991. We got married, so 2021 our boat trip. And it was marvellous, it was brilliant, except for the horseflies. This is the aqueduct end looking across towards Trefor Basin.
That side is the Trefor Basin. Now, we can't get onto the aqueduct at all. See? There's some gents down there. They're working on there. They're doing some maintenance. But as of the 23rd of February 2023, it will be open again.
There was never any intention for the canal to go to Llangollen. In fact, it was to have extended north from Trefor Basin and on to Chester. All that's left to mark what could have been are a bridge with a towpath and another bridge that was obviously built a little later, judging from the different stonework. Today, this is all that remains of the old wharf behind Trefor Basin. Just over here, there is clearly what would have been a lock and a bridge under the road. It is from the lock that the canal would have continued on to Chester, but of course it never happened.
So here at the end of the wharf, we got this. I'm a bit confused by this. This part of it is narrowboat width, you get a little wider, and I suppose if this had been dug through, it would have been just about wide enough to get a narrowboat through. But over here, this was clearly intended to be a lock. It's got the various little segments where lock gates would have gone. It's not complete. It's a bit unusual to situate this here without the intention of taking the canal on. It's too small for a dry dock. It had to be a lock, or intended to be a lock. And then on to Chester. But like I said, they never did it. You're thawing out a bit.
No?
It's like a little icicle. Give her a cuddle to warm her up.
Yeah.
Okay then. So look, you enjoyed it.
I have.
We've seen more today. We've learned more today.
Yep.
We're just catching the last few minutes of sunlight on the aqueduct as the sun sets behind us over there. It's a busy road, so there'll be a couple of cars now and again. We can't get around that. But you can see the aqueduct running all the way across over here and then behind the trees over this way. It's stunning at the bottom, isn't it?
It's amazing.
You have no real idea just how big those stone piers are.
No.
Until you go and stand right next to them.
Yeah.
They're colossal. It's such a work of engineering.
It's quite a steep walk down and a steep walk up, but it's worth it.
It is. It is quite a hike up and down. Stoke up on your carbohydrates before you go, but it's definitely worth it. But the River Dee is crystal clear, absolutely crystal clear.
And salmon run up here. Well, I think.
I'm pretty sure salmon do. Definitely trout, definitely grayling.
Yeah.
I think so.
There was a guy back there, he was fishing grayling, wasn't
Nice
he?
Polish guy. We asked him if he was Welsh. He said no, Polish.
Nah.
And he's just learned how to say Llangollen, hadn't he?
Llangollen.
No, you ain't cook.
Llangollen.
Llangollen. Llangollen. Let's go and practice in the pub. Llangollen.
Llangollen.
We made it to the pub.
We have.
We're at the Sun Inn. Where's the Sun Inn? You can't say the name,
I can't
can you?
say the name.
It's at Rowell, which is spelled R-H-E-W-L. And it's about 4.5 miles north of Llangollen.
Llangollen.
Pronounced Llangollen, right? So apparently the Welsh locals let you get away with saying Llangollen, but we don't do it. You say
Llangollen.
Not quite. Llangollen. Anyway, enough of that. So you found this pub about a year and a half ago, didn't you? We were here October 2021.
Yeah, I can smell the wine.
She could smell the wine. She was blindfolded. She could smell the wine. She said, we'll come in and have a glass. And there was a couple of chaps that were running it then. They've gone. So we came in here last night and we discovered new owners, Jonathan and Carol. And lovely, lovely people. And they have the biggest dogs. They've got 2 Pyrenees Mount dogs. They are huge, but they're like little puppies. They're so soft and daft. You haven't met them yet, have you? We're going to introduce them shortly.
No,
so.
you're not.
Anyway, so last night we had dinner. I had dinner.
I didn't.
Karen had a bowl of soup because she was feeling a little bit under the weather.
It's a bit delicate.
She'd had too many martinis the night before, weren't you? A little bit, 14 wine gums and that was it. You were done.
Sure.
Yeah. So I had a superb gammon steak. Really enjoyed it. And I highly recommend that if you're in the area, whether you're walking, hiking or stopping and staying, whatever it doesn't matter, come and have a look at the Sun Inn. New owners, Jonathan and Carol, are making a really good go of this and it's worth coming and seeing. So we will certainly be back because we're here for a week, so we'll be here a couple more times. But meanwhile, we would like you to
subscribe to our channel.
And please like the video. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you soon. That's nice, isn't it? I like that. Cheerio.